The lingering effects of slavery and systematic racism remain a concern for ICAR even in the absence of colonial rule. The organization highlights ongoing disparities in the treatment of people of African descent compared to Caucasians, underscoring the enduring impact of racial prejudice.
The conference's main focus was centered around the draft United Nations Declaration on the Promotion and Full Respect of the Human Rights of People of African Descent. Hence, the views of civil society was crucial to further inform the draft declaration. There were over 50 persons representing various CSOs across the Caribbean region. These representatives were divided into groups of between 8 to 10 persons. The day was divided into a morning session and an afternoon session, and recommendations were sought from the groups on various portions of the draft declaration.
Iran Alexander detailed the key topics discussed at the conference, emphasizing the need for urgent action by the United Nations to enforce the rights of African descendant people. He also called for compensation to address delays in implementing measures to support Pan-African communities.
Addressing systemic and structural racism. 2. Exploring reparatory justice concerning histories and legacies of colonialism, enslavement, apartheid, and genocide. The topics for the afternoon sessions were 1. Collective rights for people of African descent. 2. Sustainable development and new and emerging human rights concerns. The day was punctuated with lots of discussions and presentations were made by the group leaders.
Alexander highlighted challenges faced by black communities, including barriers imposed by the pharmaceutical industry against the use of herbal cannabis and traditional medicines. He urged the global leaders to support and empower African descendant populations.
The need for greater support for people of African descent involved in the fisheries and farming sectors as a means of livelihood and to further the cause of food and water security. 2. The need for greater educational drives and messaging tailored for various audiences, including school children, on topics of reparations and human rights. 3. The need for greater land ownership by persons of African descent as a means of empowerment. 4. The need for persons of African descent to have access to the rights to use their traditional and integrated medicines approach in an era of the WHO and PAHO trying to dictate what medicines must be used with no regard for other approaches.
While acknowledging some progress over the past decade in mobilizing support programs, he stressed the ongoing challenges that prevent full implementation of these initiatives.
Although the permanent forum is in place, it is not a priority for the United Nations. And even in the UN, there seems to be discrimination against the permanent forum, which is headed by a warrior black woman, our very own Dr. June Suma. 7. The need for us as African descendants to work together, rally together, and stop fighting each other, because we end up doing the work for the persons who enslaved us and oppressed us and colonized us. Unity is the accepted goal.
Alexander expressed hope that the United Nations would fully fund the Forum for People of African Descent, demonstrating a genuine commitment to equality and solidarity with the Black empowerment movement. He encouraged members of the African diaspora to familiarize themselves with their rights and continue advocating for freedom and justice in this post-colonial era. The United Nations Permanent Forum was held on December 12 in Barbados, marking an important step toward addressing systematic inequities and advancing the global cause of African descendant communities. For the DBS News World, Manasseh Stanislas reporting.